John Bennett here with Bitcoin Profiteer, and in today's videos we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and some basic investing strategies. And what you see on the screen right now is the Bitcoin daily chart. Bitcoin is hitting all-time highs. We've touched over $4,200 per 40. It's worth $4,200 for one Bitcoin. Right now it's at 41.44. And we're looking at a daily chart, and I just wanted to talk about a couple of basic strategies that anybody can do to get involved with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, but mainly Bitcoin. So I've only been investing in Bitcoin for about 2 or 3 months, and I got deep into the charts and everything like that. But I want to tell you what really struck me, and I'm going to show you what I saw, 2 or 3 months ago when it was trading under $2,000. The first thing I'm going to do is switch to a weekly chart. This is a weekly chart of Bitcoin, and you can ignore some of the indicators. But this particular exchange actually only goes back to 2016. Let's get up a better one here. USD, BTC. Let's go with Bitstamp. They've been around a while. So going back all the way. Each bar on this chart represents a week of time. And so I want you to notice something here. We go all the way back here when Bitcoin was under $10. And I'm using Heikin-Ashi candles. So the red are basically where it trended downwards. So this is the very early parts of Bitcoin. It just jumped straight up to, $1,000. It hovered around here, crept up. And then, look, 2017, the weekly chart, it's just going. You have a couple of red, some red down, but look, even that is what, from 1,200 down to 900. It is volatile. No one would argue that it's volatile. But look at what it's doing. Look at when I got involved in June, basically, May or June. Every single week it's going up. We had a retracement here, but this was, excuse me, essentially due to some changes and some uncertainty with, political aspects of Bitcoin. But what other investment chart that you can pull up that shows this type of growth? And the thing is that people are estimating that one day each Bitcoin is going to be worth $100,000 or even $1 million per Bitcoin. And why is that? Well, there's only going to be 21 million of them total, and the demand for them keeps rising globally as people want to have a safe haven, a way to store value and use Bitcoin, when fiat and currencies are failing. So you look at all that and you're like, a lot of people are it's going to be in the news this week big time. And people are going to be like, is it too late? Is it too late to get in Bitcoin? And I would answer absolutely not. It's definitely not too late. Because a year from now, we're going to look back at this chart. If it keeps going the way it's going, look, if I zoom out, here, I'll pull up the monthly so it may even tell the story better. The monthly chart. Okay. What happens when Bitcoin hits $10,000 and we were like, look back at this video and we're like, man, you could have got it for $4,000. The point is that it's not too late to get into Bitcoin. And so the question often people ask is, well, what do I do? How do I get involved? The first thing you need to do is to buy some Bitcoin, even if it's a small amount. Just buy Bitcoin. One of the best strategies with Bitcoin is buy and hold. Just buy a little bit when you can and just hold on to it and watch the value go up and just hold on to that sucker. So Coinbase, if you're in the US, is probably the most user-friendly, easiest way to buy Bitcoin. They also have a feature where you can set an automatic purchase of Bitcoin. Let's say like a little bit per day or a little bit per week or month. I recommend looking at your budget and setting aside a little bit to purchase Bitcoin. When you do it that way, you're going to dollar cost average. So you're not really, you're not trading the market. You're just slowly accumulating. And I really feel confident that if you do that, you're going to be happy in the long run with your investment. So I just wanted to show you this, and anything can happen, but the thing that really fascinates me is the supply and demand function of this. There is only a limited supply, and the demand keeps growing. That's why you get a chart like this. And we are still in the early stages, in my opinion, very early stages of the Bitcoin rise of Bitcoin. So I wanted to switch over to a chart and some trades that I've been doing lately. I like to trade on BitMEX. BitMEX is a futures market. Unlike regular exchanges like GDAX, Bitstamp, Poloniex, where you take your US dollars and you buy Bitcoin. And then when you sell, if you're day trading or swing trading or position trading, when you sell, you go back into US dollars. When you go back into US dollars, when Bitcoin moves up and you're not in a trade, guess what? You've lost. So I'm going to switch back to the chart real quick. Buy and hold, any kind of day trading, or you think you're going to outsmart and be better? Do you think you can get a better return trading Bitcoin than just buying and holding? The answer to that is no. It's going to be very difficult. Most people are not going to be able to day trade and swing trade Bitcoin and beat the person that just buys and holds. It's just very, very difficult. But what if you could trade and you don't have to buy and hold? What if you could trade Bitcoin like, that's what I do. Basically, I'm using BitMEX as a futures market to trade in Bitcoin. And when I'm in a trade, I'm actively trading the Bitcoin. When I'm out of the trade, I still have my Bitcoin. I don't ever go back to US dollars. It's always staying in Bitcoin. Now, BitMEX is not the only place to do that. I wanted to highlight a couple other places that I have not tried too much, but Evolve Markets. Let me pull it up. Evolve. And this one's cool because you can actually trade Forex and other things as well. Evolve.markets is the website. I have an account, but I have not funded it and hadn't played with it. You can trade all kind of different markets. There's Whale. Let me pull that one up. Hold on. Whaleclub.co, where you can trade cryptocurrency, Forex, metals, stocks, and bonds. And you can stay in Bitcoin. So my strategy is to stay in Bitcoin and grow my Bitcoin. I'll slowly buy some Bitcoin, but primarily I want to take my Bitcoin stack and grow it. And that's what I'm doing. So let me show you some recent trades that I'm involved in on BitMEX. So BitMEX is a futures market. It's a swap market. And if you look down here to the right, I've been trading the perpetual swap market. It's basically a futures contract that never expires. And it tracks along with the Bitcoin price index. So I can day trade, swing trade Bitcoin without ever getting out of Bitcoin. So on the perpetual swap, if you look down here in this trade, I have netted so far in this trade 6.2 Bitcoin. And if I were to close out my position right now, which is $50,000 position that I'm holding, if I were to close this perpetual swap out, then I would net another 2 Bitcoin. So, an 8 Bitcoin trade, 8 times 4,000, that's not bad for a couple weeks, okay? Now, I'm also trading the September contract. The September contract, I'm using this for basically trading in this range that we're in. And, unlike the daily and weekly charts I showed you, if you zoom in, there's a lot of price fluctuation here. You can see the price going up and down. So I'm in and out of this a lot. I've netted 1.5 Bitcoin in this position so far. And if I were to close out right now, it'd be another 0.26. But what I'm doing, this is more like actively day trading. I will sell at the top of the channel, buy at the bottom of the channel, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So that's what I'm doing right now in BitMEX. But I want to talk about usi-tech. usi-tech, this is for the average person. You could just buy and hold, right? Or you could buy and hold, but put the Bitcoin to work for you. And I'm going to explain what that means. In a nutshell, what you're going to do is use usi-tech. Instead of your Bitcoin just sitting in your wallet, appreciating, which is awesome, by the way, and that's probably a killer way to do it. usi-tech will say, hey, if you invest with us, we will return to you. If you give us any amount of Bitcoin, you can buy them in increments of like $55, which they call a package. We will return to you 140% on that Bitcoin. 1% every working day until you've gotten back 140%. So I want you to think about that for a second. Let's look at the calculator. If you take whatever amount of Bitcoin that you were just gonna sit on, let's say this is the number of packages. Packages cost $55 regardless of the price of Bitcoin. So let's say you did 100 packages, about what, $5,500. And we know that they pay out for 140 working days. So 100 packages, let me calculate this, is approximately right now 1.38 Bitcoin, okay? And the daily return of capital shows here. At the end of this 140 days, if you did not reinvest it and compound it, you're going to end up with 3.5 Bitcoin. That's pretty killer. So what happens though if you start reinvesting all of your Bitcoins? Actually, this calculator does take that into account. So as you get paid back this daily return of capital, you just keep buying packages as much as you can and you compound your earnings. And that's exactly what I started doing about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Right now, I have 57 packages and I'm going to continue to slowly buy packages as I can. Obviously, I like the bulk of my Bitcoin active so I can trade it, but I like a little diversification. I want to get this up to where I'm making $200 to $500 a day in Bitcoin passively. So if I'm making 200, let me do some math. I'm already making $60 to $70 a day. But my goal, which I think I can be to within a week or two, is 200, which is $6,000 a month passive income. And then let's say, what is that per year? $72,000 a year in passive income by just participating in this simple investment plan that is totally legit as far as I can tell. I mean, no one ever knows the 100%, I don't want to vouch 100%, honestly. I've looked into it very deep. I have a website, usi-tech official, where I've actually surfaced a lot of the videos with the CEO. They're very transparent about how they operate and how they make their money and how they invest in order to be able to return this 1% per day. I'm comfortable enough with it. I do realize that, there's a lot of scams out there. I've done my research and I'm comfortable enough to use this, and I will continue to grow this and really build this up. So check it out. It's usi-techofficial.com to join me. When you do, I will invite you to our private Facebook group where we can discuss cryptocurrency investing and how different strategies to grow your usi-tech investment. So that was a short video on the value of getting involved. If you're not involved in Bitcoin, if you're not purchasing Bitcoin on a regular basis, buy and hold strategy at the very minimum, get you some Bitcoin, just sit on it. But if you're interested in growing that Bitcoin, usi-techofficial.com, join me. We're going to grow our daily payouts to the point where we're making a killer passive income. So anyway, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.